hey guys, you asked for it, so I'm delivering? Well, one person asked for it. So I'm going to show you how I record and stream my game. Before we get started, just a small disclaimer, my setup is overly complex. You don't need 3 monitors, a dedicated mic, and all this other stuff. You can work with what you got. Okay, so here's my general setup. You see what I mean about it being overly complicated. I have 3 monitors. I use one for Tailspire, one for all of my notes, and then the big one I use for Discord as well as OBS to keep an eye on the recording, which I'll get into in a second. Okay, so starting top to bottom, my 3 screens, I have Tailspire here, which is our virtual tabletop, so that everybody can see what's going on in the game. My second monitor, the bottom right one in that picture that I showed, is all of my notes as well as a quick little Google search if there's any information I don't know off the top of my head, which is always. And then on the bottom screen, I run OBS and Discord, not in this exact configuration, but this is enough to give you the point. The Discord channel we use for chat as well as streaming. I share my screen on here. This way my players who are playing on cell phone or tablet or Apple product can still see what's going on. So if you're not recording your games like we do, then you can totally get away with 2 monitors. You've got your virtual tabletop, your notes, and Discord. You can resize all of them to be whatever size you want, and Discord allows you to also run in windowed mode, so you can run more than one thing, which is really nice. So if you don't feel like spending money on a virtual tabletop, there's always free virtual tabletops like Roll20.net is a good one. It has a lot of tools built in, like dice rollers, chat. There is a video and audio chat in Roll20. I'm personally not a huge fan of the Roll20 voice chat, but if you are running on a computer with limited resources, or if you're playing on a smart device, it can be nice to have everything in one package. Okay, now on to recording. So stick with me because this next part is going to get kind of weird looking. This is OBS. It's the software that I use for recording what's actually going on in Tailspire and my video of myself, my little picture-in-picture that you might have seen on my episodes. I probably could have just taken a screenshot and used that, but this is way funnier. Ooh. I do all of my editing in Reaper, which is kind of a complex software to learn, but honestly, for how I use it, it's a lot simpler than it looks at first glance. You have multiple tracks, so you can add audio, like you could add music down here. If you hit S, it'll split it, so that way you can, chop up what you have to get rid of the weird noises and screaming kids, whatever. While I'm recording everything in OBS along with my own voice, all of our players record their own audio on Audacity, which is another piece of free software that is incredibly simple. And then at the end of the game, they export the audio to MP3 and either email it or send me a Google Drive share thing so I can download it. And then Zach, one of our players, actually edits all of the audio to get rid of the errant noises like I was talking about earlier. Coughs, barking dogs, screaming children, other than what's supposed to be in the show. So here's an example of an episode. This one has yet to be edited down. We have 4 different audio files. The 5th is Reginald, who adds their audio while they're editing, because why send it to me just to be sent back? And the top track, this one here, is the video as well as my audio. Down at the bottom here, you can see sliders for each track. That's for the volume, and then the master slider right here for changing the overall volume, the master. You can also change all sorts of things. You can change the pitch, you can change the speed without changing the pitch, which is nice. but I am by no means qualified to give a tutorial on how to actually use Reaper, or OBS for that matter. I know enough to record my screens and different windows. I learned it all from either YouTube or just messing around until I figured something out, or just Googling any specific problem I had at the time. But I hope that you guys found this video really helpful and informational, and if you have any other questions, you can contact one of the admins on the D&D Memes Facebook page, or contact us through either the tavern.gg website or the Wormsbane Studios website, which I will post a link. As always, stay safe, and we hope to see you at our table.